Now that the schools are planning to reopen for students from 30th August onwards with lots of school reopening protocols, there is going to be a lot of expectation, there's going to be a lot of responsibility for the teachers. Now, how should the teachers prepare themselves effectively and meticulously so that they are able to deliver quality education to the students once the students start coming back to school? In this video, we're going to discuss some tips for the teachers so that they are able to effectively manage their own well-being, their own safety, their own health, at the same time that of the students, and also deliver quality learning to the students. Coming up, what is going on? My name is Ramesh. Welcome to another video on Mudgal's Musings, a channel dedicated to increasing your productivity. If this happens to be your first time here, consider subscribing because I keep posting one interesting video every single week to help you increase your productivity. And don't forget to hit that bell button so that you don't miss out anything exciting on this channel and you get notified every time I upload a new video. First, health and safety precaution. Personal protective equipment. Teachers have to be careful about their own safety and health. How do they do that? Obviously, wearing a mask at all times and hand washing quite frequently and keeping a hand sanitizer so that it is easily available, and also not touching the nose or the mouth or the eyes. So keeping the hands away from the face. This way, the teachers will be able to protect themselves. The second point which the teachers have to focus on is having proper classroom rules, which means once the students return, they obviously will be returning after a gap of almost about 5 months, 3 months of the the school lockdown period, and also the 2 months of vacation, which means there has been a gap of almost 5 months for the students that they would be in person meeting the students. So keeping this in mind, the teachers will have to establish certain safety and health norms inside the classroom. Maybe the classrooms, the desks are all already separately arranged, that there would be probably separate individualized desks and chairs for the students. Teachers have to ensure that the students are following those norms, establish certain reward system, establish certain consequence system so that students, young as well as older ones, are getting into the habit of following these norms for their own safety. And obviously the students who are older than 6-year-old must wear masks at all time, and the students are also encouraged to wash their hands as often as possible when they are in the school. And even if they are moving from one place to another place, of course that is going to be restricted to a great extent. Students are expected to be in one place which could probably be their own classroom for a long time. So following all these school reopening protocols and the health and safety protocols is going to be also partly responsibility of the school, the operations department of the schools, or the administrative section of the schools might have done the marking and things like that. All those markings have to be observed very, very carefully. The third thing which the teachers have to focus is to prepare their technology ready. How do they do that? Make sure the hardware is ready. Make sure the laptop or the tablet or the iPad or whichever device you're going to be using to deliver your lessons, to deliver your classes, you make sure that it is all up to date. Number one thing that to do is to ensure that you have the updated software, and you also need to clean up your laptop. So remove those things which you don't need anymore so that your laptop becomes faster, it is not loaded with too much of data, and also download any of the new softwares that you might be using in your lessons for delivering the lessons or for creating your lesson plans and lesson resources and other things. So doing a health check of your laptop is going to be another very important thing, because you are going to need it, you are going to use it very, very heavily, because there are definitely going to be a set of students who would still want to be attending the classes from their homes, which means you will be expected to deliver the lessons to a set of students who are going to be sitting in front of you in the classroom, interacting with you, and at the same time there is another set of students, which probably could be a bit of a majority in the beginning at least, who would be attending the classes from home, which means you need to cater to both sets of students, which means you will still continue to be using some amount of distance learning even in the second term once the schools reopen for the students. The fourth point which the teachers have to prepare when the time is still in hand is preparing for all the resources. So my recommendation is to prepare for at least 1 month's worth of lesson plans, worksheets, assessment plans, resources. Do your research well, create hyperdocs if it is necessary, and if you like to use Google hyperdocs, which is a very useful tool where you can have all kinds of resources put in one place. Or if you want to create presentations, it may be the PowerPoint presentations, or it could be a document, a Word document, a PDF, any resource that you would want to share with your students. Keep those things ready, because once the school starts, once you start reporting to the school for work, I don't think you're going to have much of a time to do this kind of a work. So make use of this time that you have during the vacation to prepare yourself, so that everything you are able to be 1 month ahead of your preparations. The fifth thing that you should think about for the school reopening and for your return to the school and for the students' return to the school is to have a very crystal clear but simple communication plan with the parents. Once the students start coming back to school, and even the ones who don't come back to school physically, who will be attending the school and classes through the distance learning mode, all the parents are going to be anxious. The ones who are, especially the ones whose children are coming to the school, they are going to be pretty anxious. They want to make sure that their children are safe. They want to make sure that their children are following the social distancing norms. They want to make sure that their children are being taken care of, that there is a certain amount of counseling service available to them. So they are going to have lots of queries, questions. They want to get in touch with you. So make sure that you share your communication plan with the parents. You can tell them how frequently they can contact you, how they can contact you. Is it through a WhatsApp number? Is it through the Google Classroom? Is it through the school's intranet portal? Or is it through the LMS which the school would have taken up? So having a clear but simple steps for communication with the parents, and again define how frequently you will be communicating with the parents. And I would recommend that initially at least daily one mail should go from you to the parents. One communication should go to the parents regarding how the day has been, at least in the first few weeks. This gives them a lot of confidence in the way you as a teacher is managing the classes, at the same time is managing the health and safety requirements of the students. The sixth and the final tip for you to help you make your coming back to school fruitful, effective and productive is that you need to get all your questions clarified and answered by your supervisor. It could be your level coordinator, it could be the supervisor or a phase head or your vice principal or your head of the department or the principal or anybody who's supposed to be answering the questions that you have in your mind. Do not hesitate to ask those questions. List those questions, list those clarifications so that you get answers. Because if you are in the dark, if you do not know, the chances of errors are going to be more, and the chances that you might be pointed a finger at by somebody for a mistake for which you are not aware. So ignorance is not acceptable. Ignorance is not going to be tolerated. Best is if obviously most of the schools would very clearly put forth certain ideas, and through a circular, through an email, or through one way or the other, there are going to be quite a few guidelines going to be issued by the school. But it also makes sense for you to make your own questions, looking into every single aspect of your role as a teacher and asking those questions to your immediate supervisor, so that you have a clarity in terms of what is expected of you, how you're supposed to be responding to situations, responding to concerns, responding to any questions which the students may have, the parents may have, and your own doubts and questions that you may have in your mind. So ask those questions, don't hesitate, and get all your answers so that you are in the clear in terms of what you are expected to do. That's all on Mudgal's Musings this week. Thanks for watching this video. Like it if you like it, and do share the video among your friends and acquaintances, just in case they might also be interested in watching videos like this. What are your plans for school reopening? How are you preparing for it? If you have already worked on certain things, do mention them in the comment section below. Till I see you next time, have a wonderful time ahead. Bye bye.